I'm Abhi. I am a neuroscientist turned sustainable agricultural expert. I moved to Berlin from America about 3 years ago, really fell in love with the city, saw myself living here in the long term. Once I felt things had kind of calmed down from the whole COVID landscape, I decided to start looking around, also post getting a permanent residence, because that's important for people who are moving into Germany to get loans and stuff like this. And once I had that, I started a serious search, and I would say the apartment that we're talking about now was maybe one of the earlier ones that came up in the search, and I'm very lucky to have found it. So before finding this apartment, my search experience up to this point was, let's say, a little bit early in terms of preparation, because I wasn't sure what I could afford in terms of apartments, because I hadn't gotten a permanent residence. And also we went through this period where the interest rates went from something like 1% to a rapid increase to 4%. So the affordability of the apartments also changed. And I have to say that the search in the 1% times was a lot more difficult, because there was such intense competition and price bidding and bidding wars and things like this, that it was a very uncomfortable experience, because you didn't know if you went in and saw something nice that you would be caught in this uncomfortable situation where you're trying to match a higher and higher price. So I decided to stop, and in the meantime, sort of the interest rates increased, and also the landscape of buying the apartments changed. And only once I got my permanent residence, I decided to have a more serious search. So after I saw the ad for the 3-room apartment in Pankow advertised by QUIN, I almost immediately jumped on a call with Mr. Stefan Bruning. This was, I think, on a morning on a Saturday, and I was really happy to see that he even took a call this early in the morning, which showed his enthusiasm to participate in the sale of this apartment. And the viewing was great. It happened rapidly. We managed to get a slot. The description of the apartment exactly matched how the apartment was, which was also a very good sign. Throughout the whole process, from the very first contact up to us signing the final contract, I felt that the communication was absolutely top notch. Bruning was always responsive, either via email or WhatsApp. He was always there to answer questions, and also showed that he cared not only about the person selling the apartment, also the person buying the apartment, that to make sure that they both had ample time to communicate, and that they were also both feeling comfortable going with the process, because you want to make sure that when you're buying something at that value, that you are doing so with someone you can trust. And I think that trust aspect was something that Mr. Bruning brought into the relationship. I would absolutely recommend QUIN Investments. I think they've been thoroughly professional through this whole process. They were there to answer all of our questions, and we had many questions. Also, being first-time buyers, they communicated very well. Also, as someone who is not a native German speaker, I felt that the communication in English was really, what I was expecting from a professional entity selling apartments in Berlin. And for all of these reasons, I would highly recommend you go with QUIN.